everybody, it's midnight and I just got done watching 2001's Soulkeeper, starring Rodney Rowland, Kevin Patrick Walls, Ed Trotter, Robert Darby, Brad Dourif, etc. This is an odd one, because the first time I saw it was on TV, and I remember I think I just caught the beginning, and I was like, oh, it's another one of those tacky horror movies. But this is a surprise. I've seen this a good number of times since. But basically it's the story of two hapless criminals. Well, no, criminals is not a fair term, sorry. Two hapless thieves who get sucked into this kind of supernatural world and hired to steal the Stone of Lazarus, which is being used by an evil guy, Simon Magus, played by Ed Trotter, who it can be used to resurrect evil souls. So these two guys, Corey and Terence, you know, they go through this whole world trying to get this stone and trying to find the leads to get to it, etc. And if you like stuff like Fright Night, it is that kind of thing. It's a paranormal horror adventure comedy. It's really quirky, but it's got some genuine kind of disturbing. I mean, some of the creature designs are I mean, there is real life puppetry as well as CGI. And it's funny because this is 2001, and yet some of even CGI looks, for a low-budget movie, the CGI looks better than the CGI in the other day's The Mist. So it's really weird in that when you think this is a low-budget film, and yet it feels like you could go to the cinema and watch this. It's probably as good. I mean, it's the best horror film that I have seen for some time. And the funniest thing is a good chunk of the cast are kind of cameos by known like people that have been in a lot of kind of B-movie horror flicks. I mean, it's even got an appearance by Karen Black out of House of a Thousand Corpses. The funniest thing is coincidentally, we actually have a crossover with a connection to yesterday's Sleep Stalker, in that Vincent Berry who plays Frederick Finch in this, the new host of Frederick Finch's Soul. He was the 7-year-old version of Griffin in Sleep Stalker. So it's really weird to see him yesterday in Sleep Stalker and then today see him 6 years older, kind of playing this adult character kind of thing. So that just seemed kind of ironic. But yeah, no. It's weird because you get a lot of horror now since stuff like Scary Movie and you know, the Mel Brooks movies like Dracula, Dead and Loving It, and we got stuff like and I know it's coming up soon, Repossessed, the parody / sequel of The Exorcist. You know, a lot of those, they are all-out comedies. This isn't an all-out comedy, in that it's not a parody, although it does have a couple of moments where it is kind of paying homage to stuff like Night of the Living Dead, etc. But also there's this it doesn't feel like it's trying so hard. Like I said, it's got that quirkiness. It's not an all-out comedy, but there are times when you are giggling away, and it is silly, but it doesn't feel like it's trying. A lot of these kind of parodies and that, they feel like they're trying too hard, and they can get a bit tiresome in that way. But this doesn't feel like it is. Even stuff like Rodney Roland's character, Corey. They're at this psychic and she becomes possessed and all that stuff, and he's like, oh, well, at least she didn't vomit on you, and then there's this big pool of vomit, and it's kind of cliched in a way, but at the same time it just felt natural. And the ending, although it's kind of rather saccharine for this kind of flick, it has got a lot of heart. And I think that's a good key point about this whole movie, is that it feels like it's got a good heart, and you have a good relationship between the two leads of Kevin Patrick Walls and Rodney Roland. They feel like that kind of, anybody who watches Supernatural, it feels like Sam and Dean. They're very brotherly in a way. And yeah, that is the main thing about this movie. So if you like stuff like Fright Night or Army of Darkness and The Evil Dead that kind of dark humour, I highly recommend. I mean, this has got stuff like, as well, you know, shout out to May to December and my DVD reviews. This has even got vampires in, which are then later dismissed. So this I highly recommend if you like horror movies that are also silly. There's not much else I can say about this. The only thing I do have an issue with is Brad Dourif's Brad Dourif's French accent, which is really, I mean, it feels like it's purposely hammed up, but at the same time it get a bit grating. But I always enjoy seeing Brad Dourif in stuff, so it's easily forgiven. But the fact that even Michael Ironside does a little voice cameo in this is insane. But no, please do. I highly recommend this. It's one of those kind of things that you probably have caught on TV, you know, scrolling through and gone, another shit creature feature or something. And it's not that at all. Please do, if you get a chance, check out 2001's Soulkeeper. I would easily give it, I mean, for what it is, I would easily give it, I mean, it's difficult because you can't really put it on par with like high budget movies and stuff. But for what this does and the enjoyment level of this, I would easily give this an 8 or a 9 out of 10. It's just that fun. But if you get a chance, please do check out Soulkeeper. That was tonight's movie. We'll be back tomorrow again. But for now, this is Sketch, signing out.